ain't here to sell you nothing. I'm here to light it up. Where the rules get bent and the playbooks burn. That's where you'll find me.
Hey there, trail trekkers and tall tale seekers. I'm Montana Max, your Bigfoot buddy and full-time outlaw gear mascot. This is the 406 Life, where we wander wild Montana, swap stories, and dig up the legends, laughs, and locals that make this state magic. Grab your boots and your sense of adventure. Let's get a little lost together. This episode's powered by Outlaw Gear, where rebels get their style. Want to look legendary? Mosey over to I'mAnOutlaw.com and claim your outlaw status. Hey there, big sky enthusiasts and potential Sasquatch stalkers. Welcome to the 406 Life, your ticket to the wild stories that echo through Montana's vast horizon. I'm your host, Montana Max, talking all things bold, bizarre, and occasionally hairy. Just like my cousin Ned, but that's a tale for another day. Today, we're climbing aboard a roaring, fire-breathing B-29 Superfortress. And don't worry, folks, no actual fire needed here. We're diving into the 1952 crash near Phillipsburg, where a bomber's engine decided to quit mid-flight, and the crew bailed out faster than a Bigfoot spotting when someone pulls out a camera. Stay tuned. This one's been keeping coyotes howling for decades. So what's this B-29 all about? It's a 4-engine beast, like a moose with 4 kidneys. During World War II, it was the Cadillac of bombers. Pressurized cabin, remote guns, you name it. After the war, she stuck around doing training, recon, and the occasional trip to the general store. But those Wright R-3350 engines, they were about as reliable as a gambler on a hot streak. Rarely, if ever, broke even. On September 8, 1952, B-29 tail number 4462299 was trudging through the air from Hamilton Air Force Base in California to Great Falls. Routine training flight. What could go wrong? Well, one engine croaked, spewing fire, smoke, and panic. The crew strutted their literal parachutes and bailed, but not before they probably thought, "Dang it, I left my thermos on the plane." 12 gutsy airmen parachuted into that rugged Montana wilderness. 2 got the wooden spoon, injuries, and were taken to Phillipsburg Hospital. The rest were fine, a miracle considering the chaos. Meanwhile, that B-29, she kept going, straight into Mount Stuart, 4 miles northeast of town, kissing the mountain in a blaze of glory. Luckily, nobody on the ground got hurt. No funerals, just one epic survival tale. Ready for your next Montana home? Visit mostwantedrealestate.net, because that's how the West is sold. Now let's yak about those engines, the R-3350 duplex Cyclones, sounding like a robot bull in a blender. Beautiful power, but fussy as a coon hound in a cat convention. Common problems, overheating, oil starvation, or just plain throwing a tantrum mid-flight. High maintenance indeed. In this case, one of those temperamental cylinders gave out, whether due to overheating or some internal malfunction. Well, the historical record doesn't spell it out in detail. But the result was clear: fire and smoke in the cockpit, and suddenly the flight turned into a Montanan rodeo. All 12 crew made it out alive, which is nothing short of miraculous. A successful bailout in mountainous terrain takes skill, timing, and a fair bit of luck, kind of like convincing a Bigfoot to pose for a selfie without running in the opposite direction. And friends, the Bigfoot photo still remains as elusive as ever. Picture Phillipsburg that day, little town, wide open skies, and suddenly the heavens spit out a fiery bomber. 2 injured crew on stretchers, but no devastation. The townsfolk scratched their heads, said, "Well now, that's a mighty unusual Tuesday," and got on with their day. No funerals, no tragedy, just an aircraft turning itself into modern art on Mount Stuart. I like to imagine a local rancher later retelling the story with a sip of coffee. Planes don't just explode and no one dies, unless you count my rooster, who ran from the fire and tripped over the fence. That's Montana understatement at its finest. You know, this wasn't the only time a B-29 threw a fit in 1952. For instance, there was a mid-air collision near Oregon in October, where a B-29 and an F-94 collided. That one ended tragically. All 11 aboard the B-29 died. Not our crash story, but a grim reminder B-29s could be downright dangerous. Another tragic story happened just months prior in Texas. 2 B-29s collided mid-air and both crashed. Nobody survived. But back in Montana, it was survival. No loss of life. Just one dang plane turned into mountain scrap. That contrast is stark. Lessons in both tragedy and triumph. Montana luck or just plain skill. You be the judge. Now here's the part I love. This crash didn't just vanish into thin air. Even today, if you hike up around Mount Stuart, sharp-eyed wanderers can still spot bits and pieces of that old B-29 scattered across the ridges. A twisted hunk of aluminum here, a riveted panel there, like breadcrumbs from a mechanical giant. And rumor has it, right after the accident, some of the locals wandered up there and snagged a few souvenirs. Can't say I blame 'em. Back in the 50s, you didn't just order airplane scrap off eBay. Maybe there's still a coffee table in somebody's living room with legs made from a Superfortress strut, or a barn with a door patched together from bomber skin. Who knows? That's Montana for you. When life drops a plane in your backyard, you don't just stare at it. You make conversation pieces. This episode's powered by Outlaw Gear, where rebels get their style. Want to look legendary? Mosey over to I'mAnOutlaw.com and claim your outlaw status. Now let's wander off the beaten path a bit, like my own tracks in the snow. Imagine me sitting in the back of that B-29 in 1952, knees jammed up against the bulkhead because, well, aircraft designers weren't thinking about folks with a 15-foot stride. One of those engines starts coughing and spitting fire, and I look at the pilot and say, "Buddy, I don't think this bird's gonna make it. Better get those parachutes ready." He looks back and says, "Montana Max, you're 7 foot tall and built like a grizzly. You think a regular old chute's gonna hold you?" I just grinned, patted him on the shoulder, and said, "Don't worry about me. I've been jumping out of trees since before you were born. This'll be a soft landing compared to that." So when folks later claimed they saw a shaggy figure near Mount Stuart after the crash, well, let's just say they weren't entirely wrong. These are the kind of tall tales that make life in Montana go down easier. Takeaways, folks? The 1952 Phillipsburg crash is a tribute to training, courage, and a sliver of luck. 12 crew members, no fatalities, that's a story worth telling. Up here in Montana, our skies are vast, our mountains are fierce, and our spirit unbreakable. Whether it's the roar of a bomber or the whisper of a legend, we endure. And we talk about it forever. So next time you're staring up at the sky and see a plume of smoke, remember, maybe that's just a B-29 saying, "Howdy." Or could it be a Bigfoot giving you a thumbs up? Only one way to find out. Thanks for riding the wind with me today on the 406 Life. If you liked this yarn, holler back and let me know what flight or legend you'd like us to unpack next. Until then, keep your eyes sharp, your coffee strong, and watch for those tall tales among the pines. This is Montana Max, signing off. Stay wild, Montana. Oh, and before I hoof it back into the timber, if you loved this story, share it with your folks, your neighbors, heck, even that one guy who swears he saw Bigfoot behind the gas station. And don't be shy, drop us a 5-star rating so more curious critters can stumble across the 406 Life. After all, even Bigfoot needs help showing up in the search results. Got a Montana story, business, or unsolved mystery you want on the show? Head to the 406life.com and drop me a line. No smoke signals required. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a stomp, stumble, or tall tale. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, heck, tell that guy who swears he saw me near Phillipsburg. I was just hunting for sapphires, and maybe grabbing a brew, all right? Until next time, keep it outrageous, keep it kind, and keep living the 406 life. Montana Max, over and out.
Boots in the gravel, brain like a barrel, ideas popping off like a rodeo rebel. No suit, no script, no play it safe plan. I blaze my own trail like a wildland brand. I'm the voice in the static, the flame in the smoke, the storm on the rise when the safe plan's broke. I don't fit the mold, don't ask me to fold. Ain't built for boring, I'm built for bold. I don't do trends, I settle. Now get out of the way, or ride shotgun.
The 406 Life is powered by Outlaw Gear. If it's tough enough for Bigfoot, it's tough enough for you. If your business wants to help fuel the adventure, give us a holler at the 406life.com. We'd love to have you on the trail.